everyone. Welcome to the 16th episode of the Knitting Spring podcast. My name is Tonya. I'm coming to you from Manhattan, New York. A little disheveled again today. I think I say that every time I talk to you guys. Just getting home from work. It is Wednesday, May 4th, and I'm trying to cram everything in before I go to Maryland Sheep and Wool. I've been really busy. I've been dealing with some side effects from some of the medication they have me on for my back. The pain's getting better, but then there's, side effect things that are coming in. And so I'm trying to sit down. I wanted to talk to everybody, share, touch base, because I know there'll be a lot to talk about when I come back from Maryland Sheep and Wool. Before I get any further, you can find me on Ravelry's Cheeky Monkey. Instagram is CheekyMonkey1. All the show notes are at knittingspring.com. And I'm Tonya on Goodreads. And I do have an LO account, although I'm not really posting there right now. I just saved a spot. And I literally just walked in the door about 10 minutes ago, gathered my things. I've had show notes prepared since the weekend, but I just haven't been able to sit down and podcast. And so tonight's the night. So let's get right to it. And I have a ton to talk about because it's been so long. And I think I could sit here for a couple hours, but I can't because I put in a dinner order. We might be pausing for that so I can answer the door. And then I have to pack and everything tonight. All right, let's start with a little FO. That's one of my project bags. Sorry, guys. Have everything, just a little FO. I made, just finished a washcloth, and I'm going to stay with my godmother at her house. She lives near Maryland Sheep and Wool, so I made her a washcloth and a little goodie bag. She watches sometimes, so I don't want to show this to you guys and I'll take a picture of what I gave her for the next podcast. The washcloth is the pattern's Dishcloth Diva. The pattern's Minimal. The yarn is Knit 1, Crochet 2, Tie-Dye. Colorways Oceana. And I knit all of my washcloths on US 5s. So this is considered a worsted, but I go down, I'm a fairly loose knitter, and I go down to a US 5. It gives me a nice squishy fabric. It's not airy. I probably could even go down to a 4 now, but I have Chalgoos that I use that are always in that project bag, just dedicated for picking up and going, and I know I can work on a washcloth. Now, this one's technically finished, but it's not, and I'll explain why. So I've made another Voodoo You Love Me doll for my nephew, no face yet, and I've got one arm on. Now, I do have all the other component parts finished, but you can see, here they are. But my nephew loves videos and taping videos. So what I want to do is take him, and I've made like a little, maybe 15-second clip of like this moving and getting attached, and then I have it like I have a dark purple coverlet that I use in the summer because it's a little bit lighter than my comforter in the winter. And I can take the background out and put him in front of different things. So I have Photoshop and stuff, and I'm just going to put a little animation together for him. And I can't wait to do it, but I really haven't had time since I've had my back problems, trying to get ready for Maryland Sheep and Wool. You have life, you have to go to work, doctor's appointments, laundry's got to get done, all these things. But I surprisingly got a lot of knitting time in. So that's a good sign. That means I'm definitely feeling better. And this is in my lovely bag from Mrs. Brown that I just absolutely love. And it's got fuzz all over it. Sorry. And I ordered another one from her. So that will be coming shortly. I saw she put it in the mail, and I'll show you guys that when I come back. All right, so works in progress. If this is a little speedy, I'm sorry. I still have to pack and stuff. Maybe I've said that like 10 times. You can tell I'm a little loopy too from what they have me on. Okay, this is my In Stillness sweater. I love this thing. Love it. I am I just love the color black. I love wearing black. I know it's hard to knit in black, but it's not for me. I find it so enjoyable just because I know, today I have a little bit of a pattern on, but loving it. It's just easy. The thing I like about it is it's easy and it's relaxing. So with everything I have going on right now, there's not a lot of fussing. So I can come home, pick up a washcloth, pick up socks, pick up this sweater, and just like relax and let things, do what I need to do to take care of myself. And this is one of the things that I feel is like taking care of myself because I feel good about it and it makes me feel good and I feel relaxed and it sort of gives me that I need to unplug. So I really feel like I'm unplugging when I'm doing this. And that sort of helps center me. And so I think that's just fantastic. And I'm sure most of you get the same way when you're knitting. It's just absolutely an incredible craft. So you can see I've made actually quite a bit of progress. Where the dinosaur progress keeper is, I've knit all of that, and I split for the sleeves last time I saw you guys. Let me give you the details. Even though I wrote these, I don't remember anything. It's the In Stillness sweater. The pattern's by Alicia Plummer. I am using Miss Babs Yowza in the Obsidian colorway. Excuse me. And for the body of the sweater, everything that I've used so far, cast on everything, is a US size 6. And so the pattern calls for a 7, but I went down to a 6, and I might have been able to go down. I'm like right on the verge. I probably could have gone down to a 5, but I always err on this side of positive ease. So I'm using a 6. And I am using Chow Goose. I love Chow Goose. I like knitting with them. I don't buy interchangeables. I tried that one time for myself, and I like to have, I'm sort of like a planner organizer, and so I like to have sets of things. Like I know all my project bags, it's probably overkill, but they each have their own notions pouch because I don't have to think. I know I just grab that bag, put it in, and I can go because I can be daydreamy, you know what I mean? My mind's like in 2 different places. So that if I'm set up, I just grab it, put it in my big tote bag, and I walk out the door. And I have everything that I need. Now, when I travel, I take a little bit more. I don't have to worry about going to D.C. this time because I'm taking the train. But if I'm flying or something, I'll take, put more thought into it about scissors, what's taking, what's, etc. But, I have the little, here's my little matching notions pouch. And it has, for me, it has a little tin of stitch markers. I keep a little tape measure. I always carry a needle gauge with me. I always carry extra scrap yarn. These are my favorite scissors ever. They're these little, I think they're Geiger, the little like stork scissors. I love those. And they're super sharp. Can't travel with those. And then I always keep a set of double points for whatever reason, just small 5-inch, and then a crochet hook. So I don't keep double points everywhere. I just keep those in a sweater bag just because sometimes you'll come across more situations with a sweater than you will necessarily something else. And I'm still on my first skein. I have a little bit, I have this much mess, looks like, oh my gosh, it's a mess now, of Yowza. So I still have 2 skeins left. And I don't know if I'm taking this with me or not. I'm still deciding what to take. So I've got to see. I like to be a light packer. I overpacked once on a trip and I can never do it again. So I always, if I forget something, I'll buy it. I never overpack. I don't pack for all kinds of contingencies. I sort of just, what am I going to basically need? And if I really do need something, I'll go to a store. Because it's not like I travel anywhere that is remote. Like you'd have to drive hours to get something. Okay. And then let's see my next one. A lot of progress on this. This is my Miss Babs Yowza Way Shawl number 4. I think that's the one I'm knitting. By Susan B. Anderson. Yes, Yowza Way Shawl number 4. And this is another one. I've just been, you can see, I've gotten so much done on this. And it's just garter. It's been nice because I can, like I said again, I just come home and I can just unplug. And since I saw you guys, I've knit a ton. Yeah, I've knit from here all the way up to there. So it's been a lot, and I'm just adding, and I think I still have a lot more to go. But I'll show you my favorite part. I love this pooling. I just love it. I love that chunk of it's like Concord grape jelly. It reminds me of when I was little, my grandmother had a sister. Her name was Mary, Aunt Mary. And she used to make Concord homemade grape jelly. She grew the grapes. She harvested the grapes. She made the jam herself. Oh my God, it was the best jam ever. We looked forward to it every summer. It was so good. And that's what it reminds me of. So that's a really nice memory. So I kind of like that little pooling. I know people don't like pooling all the time, but that's a good memory. I like that one. I like when things make you think of stuff like that. Family is really important to me. They're just the center of my world. That's where I draw my strength from, where I get comfort. You know, I have really nice friends, but that's really my place to go. I think family's very important. I'm very lucky to have an absolutely wonderful one. All right, so before we get to the sock yarn blanket, let's do my brother socks. The never-ending brother socks, because they keep getting put on the back burner, which maybe since I'm saying this, I'm not going to take the sweater. I'm going to take the socks on the train. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But I have gotten to the point, I don't know, maybe this is where I was when I talked to you guys last, maybe not, where I'm starting to increase for the gusset and starting to do, so I have another inch before I start the heel, which will be nothing on the train tomorrow to do that. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I'm sitting here talking myself into that. But they're going to be knee socks. So I have a long way to go. I have 2 on here. I made a little bit of progress. I am knitting these out of, in case you haven't seen this for the 6th time and you're tired of me talking about my brother's knee socks. I'm using just a standard vanilla sock. I cast on for my brother 16 stitches. I increased to 36 stitches on needle 1 and needle 2. I use 2 circular needles. That just makes it more organized for me. I can keep track of stuff better that way. So I do 36 stitches on each needle. I knit for 9 inches. Then for an inch, I increase to 54 stitches on the bottom, and then I start the heel. And then for the basic of his, I have all of his measurements for his leg. I'm going to be using the knee sock pattern called Delicious Knee Socks by Laura Chow. And then I'm knitting it out of Footsie by Woolenvine. No, it's not Footsie. It's Strasse. I wrote that down wrong. It's Strasse by Woolenvine Yarns, Dirty on Purpose. And I'm using a US 1 2.25 millimeter needles. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get to this because I have so much going on, but I really want to make the Agleam shawl. And I'm going to talk about this when I'm talking about what I'm thinking about for Marin Sheep and Wool. But this is this colorway here is a serious possibility for that Agleam shawl. I really like that pattern a lot. And Jody from the Grocery Girls made a beautiful one, which totally inspired me to do one, Jody. And I really like the color she used. I think that shawl is stunning. Absolutely stunning. So I've got that. Racing right along. So, sock yarn blanket. I've been like touching base on quite a few things. Now it's probably been, what has it been? A little over 2 weeks, I think, since I talked to you guys. So, I'm surprised because I've been busy, but I've had time to knit. Maybe I'm getting faster. That would be really nice, right? Not that I want to rush through everything, but I want to knit everything. So I want to have everything. And that leads to a whole other topic of conversation. Okay. So I had just started this one the last time I saw you guys. This is Gilmore sock yarn by Spartacus Dyes, and she's no longer dying, but she made some really beautiful colorways. So I finished that. And then this is a square. I got a mini when we went to Do You Knit in Westville, New Jersey. And I was looking for Spun Right Round because I've really been wanting to try that. And they didn't have any full skeins, but they had a jar of minis. So I thought I'd pick up some of the minis. And I just absolutely love this one. I wouldn't knit a sweater out of this, but I think socks out of this would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know the colorway because there's no tag on it, but it's beautiful. But I could look for something, that's similar. And then this is my Stellar Banshee that I just made my sweater out of. So I've got that square in. And then I have cast on this little bit of green. I made a pair of socks for a friend last summer out of this green yarn. So I've got that started. Now, some of the things that I wanted to talk about when I was talking about my sweater, and I've really been thinking about this a lot. So not only have I been knitting quite a bit, I've been thinking. Now, I have like this blue sky list, and this sort of leads into what I'm thinking about for, Maryland sheep and wool. So I have a list. So going there, I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do? All right, I'm back, but a little disappointed. I thought, I know I did. I made a, I made a sweater queue of all the, for like 4 pages, maybe like 20 sweaters I want to knit. I know it sounds a little crazy, but sort of the start of the journey. I learned to knit about 10 years ago. And then I sort of went on and off with it. And then I got interested into sewing. And what got me interested into sewing was trying to find things that are easy to wear, that look good on me, that I can find or make again. Because, you find like this dress that you just love, that you feel good in, but it wears out. And where do you go get a replacement? Because by that time it could be 3, 4, 5 years later, and they're not making that style anymore. So I was really thinking about how I want to dress, how I want to look, and things like that. So I started getting interested in sewing, and the first thing I wanted to make were cashmere t-shirts. Well, you don't start with cashmere. Nobody starts with cashmere. You don't start knitting with cashmere, and that's like the least risky thing to do because yarn, you're not cutting it, you're just knitting it, and then you could wind it back up. You're not going to waste it. But cutting a piece of cashmere fabric and sewing it, you could really destroy it. So I sat down, I bought a sewing machine, took some sewing lessons, did all that. And in the meantime, while I was saving for my sewing machine, I put this book together. I'm not going to go through all of it, but it'll give you an understanding of my idea of where I'm going. So I made this. I love to make, sorry about the glare. I like to make sketchbooks and notebooks. So I just put this together. This is just craft paper I had. I think it was, the reason it's sort of like this is because I sort of get these ideas that I want to put this thing together, and I just start pulling pieces of paper together, collaging stuff together, and putting these ideas together, sort of brainstorming things. And I have like learning goals in here, and sorry, I'm trying to find, what I want to do with my apartment, how do I want to organize it. There's like everything in here. Okay. So I sat down one day and I started going through what is in a classic wardrobe. And you can see I went through and I sort of started making notes. Okay, dinner's here. Okay, I just got my dinner delivered so I can eat while I'm editing this. Train of thought. Okay, so like I said, I've really been trying to think what looks good on me, what I'm wearing, and I have a list. Which leads me to what do I want to buy at New York Sheep and Wool. So I made a sweater queue, and I'm so upset I don't have it to show you. I just looked at it last night. It is like nowhere here. I don't know. And I wouldn't have thrown it away because it has all kinds of notes on it. I have no idea what I did with it. But so what I do is I know what I want to, how I want to dress. I want it to be I don't want to say elegance, but I want it to be an easy sort of dressy. Because when I go clothes shopping, I'm like, can I wear this to work? Because I have a few things that I can wear around, but I mostly shop if I can, it'll do double duty. I don't just have work clothes. I want it to be able to blend because if I want to go out afterwards or something, or you go to dinner, you have clothes. So what I started going through and doing is looking for styles I like. And I'll just show you one page. I just went through magazines, and I did this for like a year. Just tops and shapes and things that I like that would be this sort of casual sophistication, I guess, or an easy sophistication. I have my Victoria's Secret pink sweatpants and stuff like that, but, I'm not going to go anywhere to dinner or anything in that. But so I want to be able to be versatile, and I want to be comfortable. I hate feeling restricted in my clothes. So I love knitting. I love knitting tops, and I feel like I'm just rambling, and I had a whole train of thought and I lost it. Okay, so anyway, so dressing. So when I'm going to Maryland Sheep and Wool, I have a really nice stash of yarn that's like colorful and fun. So I have a list of things, and I do have the list. Like, I want to make the A Gleam shawl, and I would like that to be in these, like, I see it as like silvery or bronze or something like that. I like something like that with, I think looks really striking against black. And I'm looking for a merino silk fingering for that. Kristen's Wildesmeer shawl. I really want to make that, and I'd like to make that in a tonal, in some sort of neutral as well. Because a lot of the things I've been knitting this last year have been colorful, and I have a lot of colorful items that I can wear with the black that I wear, which is great. But I'd like to mix in some neutrals too. So I'm trying to shop smart, not just go there, and who knows, maybe I will just be, like kid in a candy store again. I'm definitely prepared for that. But I want to try to be a smarter shopper, because I got into this last year. I was so overwhelmed. There were so many things I didn't know about, and I was just sort of going. So now I'm sort of like trying to take a step back and say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I want to wear? Where do I want to go with all this? How do I want to create this forward? Because when I first got into this last year, I didn't expect to be knitting as much as I have this last year. I've knit more in the last year than I have in 10 years, for sure. And I probably should do like a stats of what I did in the last year. It's nothing compared to what I ever did. So definitely got knitting. I've always loved fashion. I always loved clothes, things like that. But I'm to the point where I have, and I've been doing this for the last few years. Like, I'd say the last 4 years, I've sort of really gotten to this like sort of ease, casual sophistication sort of dress thing that I feel comfortable in. Like today, you can't see, but it's just like one of these slinky jersey dresses that's just a sheath dress. I wear it with leggings. I wear it either with flats. I've paired it with Birkenstocks. You can put boots with it. And it's something easy, and I can do it. And that's something that I want. I want to have like a wardrobe of these staples that you sort of go through, because, in 10 years, I'm probably not going to wear this dress again, but I want to get into the rhythm of having what I'm looking for, because you can't always find in the store what you're looking for. And not saying I'm going to have a whole wardrobe of everything, but these are sort of the thoughts, and I thought I'd share them with you. That cardigan I've been talking about, I want to look for tonal teal with it. I think that would make a beautiful, it would be nice in black, but I think that would be absolutely beautiful in a tonal teal color. Really like that. I saw there's some cashmere vendors there. If I see something that I really like, maybe I'll pick up some. There's always jade sapphire I can fall back on, but it would be nice to find something special. I mean, cashmere I think is so special already, and I wouldn't mind having that in my stash. I haven't found the shape I'm looking for the sweater I want in cashmere. Right now I feel like I'm testing out all these different patterns and adjusting what I want to fit. And I know that when I knit my cashmere sweater, it's going to have to be in pieces because it's a more drapey fabric. So it's going to need a little bit of structure. So I do know that. And then I'd really like to look, there's a glass button place there, which I think would be fascinating. I love buttons. I know a lot of you do too. And I would just love to have like just really fun buttons to be able to go to. And I'd like to look for some beads. So those are the things that I'm looking for and sort of directing me a long way around. This is sort of what the last couple weeks I've been thinking about and going to, and I really have picked this up again. So I go through this, and there's like pages. I mean, you can see this thing is huge. And I just make my own sketchbooks. This sweater has Mahalakshmi, this dress. I love that dress. It's so flattering. It's such a great summer dress. I love the pattern, and what I would like to do is take like maybe a couple of, because I haven't been able to find a class on this. I might have to take a private lesson where I learn how to sew and manage these slinky knit fabrics. Because I just need to get like a sloper and a pattern and just start with some basics. I can go to Mood or B&J, pick up some fabrics and just make some basics. Get used to it. I might have to get a serger, but none of that's soon. But maybe later in the summer I can start with the class and start planning out what to do. Anyways, Maryland Sheep and Wool. I leave tomorrow evening. I take the train down to my godmother's, and we're going to spend the day Friday together and maybe hit Fiber Space or whatever. I'll see what she wants to do. And then Saturday, obviously, Maryland Sheep and Wool. And then in Frederick, Maryland, this is another reason I wanted to talk to you guys tonight. Frederick, Maryland, there's a pop-up shop at the Knot House. Skeiny Dipping's going to be there. Duck Wool, which is I have never seen her yarn anywhere except for the India Untangled in Rhinebeck last year, and she has beautiful yarn. Those are the two I can think of off the top of my head, but I think she had like 5 or 6 other vendors, and she's having a little pop-up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. So I'll see how my godmother does. If it was just me, I would go. Even though I got to take it easy with my back. I know that. I know I can't. I have to rest, make sure everything's like in order. I have to eat when I take certain pills and stuff like that. So as long as I do that, but I get so hyped up for these things. I'm so excited, and maybe I'll catch a mug at Jenny the Potter, or and I'd like to take pictures and film for you guys and show you what I'm doing. And that reminds me, this is going to be another Stream of Conscious podcast for me. I got someone messaged me or left a comment they'd like to see and know more about what's going on around New York City. So I did take a little bit. I went to a restaurant a couple weeks ago. I took some video, and I think I might be able to put that at the end here. If not, I'll definitely include it at the end of the next video. I'll see where I get to tonight. And then I come back Sunday night, and then I took a day off from work on Monday just to regroup, look at all my yarn, organize it, think about things, plan, before I have to go back to work. And can you tell I'm a little scattered? I apologize if you guys watch this and think I am like totally nuts. Just remember, disclaimer, I am on serious medication for my herniated disc. My disc in my lower back is definitely herniated, not just a little, a whole lot. It's getting there. I go back to the doctors next week again. I had an MRI, all those kinds of things. I'm getting there. I'm trying to take it easy. It's hard. You have all these things you want to do, but you can't do them because you can't physically do it. And the medicine's wacky and all these kinds of things. And so if this is a little jumbled and you think, and this is the first time you're watching me, I promise you I'm not this crazy. I really feel like I'm disorganized today, maybe because I'm trying to cram everything in. All right, let's look at show notes and get back on track here. And I'll talk about all this, the notebook and my sort of ideas and stuff later if you guys are interested. This is another thing I do. I want to make something more permanent, but I just put little like notebooks together. You can see it just says cover right now, but I when I take trips. And then I have sort of, I'm not going to hold this up long, but that's sort of like my next 3 months. And so I just take this with me, and then I just put one of these little envelopes in the back, and I collect stuff. And I used to keep journals for like 20 years. I have a pardon journal of writing and stuff. And so I've sort of gotten away from that. But I still always carry a notebook with me, or a journal, or whatever you want to call it. Stash enhancements. I do have stash enhancements for you. So let's slow this down a little bit. I feel like I'm rushing. All right. One of the latest things I've gotten, and by no means the least, is this beautiful yarn from Cat's Kettle. Jacqueline from the Brooklyn Knitfo podcast posted this on her Instagram account, and I just thought this was stunning yarn. And it is. The feel of this, incredible. Absolutely incredible. If you haven't tried her yarn, run and do it. I'm telling you. This is, the colorway is called Petit Fours. It's on our matte sock base. It's a 4-ply fingering weight, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. It's 438 yards at 100 grams. Now, when I ordered this, I just fell in love with the color. When I got it, I immediately thought of this pattern, and this is Jenny from Tiny Paper Foxes is making this sweater. It's the Polaris sweater, and I am going to make this in the smallest size for my niece. I think she's going to love it. It is just screams that pattern. It's just, I think this would look absolutely so sweet on her, and she loves pink. So this just wrote itself. So this is another sweater in the queue that I want to make, but this just can't, for me, this can't be anything else. It just can't be anything else. I think that's like the perfect match. Super excited about that. And then I ordered some minis from her. I just think this, and of course, you know, love that, but love all of them. And I think they're just going to make a nice addition to my sock yarn blanket. All right. And then I was sort of putzing around on the internet, just looking at stuff. And I saw this skein of yarn. And I even thought about this for the Ville d'Esmere shawl. This is a possibility for that. I saw this on Simply Socks Yarn Company. Just browsing, because, you know, that's what you do. Browse for yarn. It's by Fiber Story. It's Fave Sock. 100% merino. Might as well show you this while I'm reading. 100% superwash merino. It's in the Mina colorway. 400 yards, 100 grams, and yeah, beautiful. Just love it. Love, love, love it. It's a little more brown. It looks more black on screen, dark brown and gray, but it's more muted than that in person. All right, pardon while I reach real quick. This is the piece de resistance. So I was listening to Never Not Knitting with Alema Dakos, her podcast, and such a lovely voice to listen to. And she mentioned she had these like sort of care packages. And I'm like, what is that? And she's like, well, you're not going to know what's in it. You'll know the idea what's in it, like there'll be a yarn, button, stuff like that, but you don't get to see what's in there. And this collection was called Wildflowers. Now, this is just a skein of yarn came in there. And this is nothing that I would pick out for myself, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm not a big green person, but this is just beautiful. I mean, a beautiful shawl. That just says shawl to me. And the yarn is by Lichen and Lace. Sorry, it's hard to read. It's like burnt on there. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it better on screen, actually. Lichen and Lace. It's the Wildflower colorway. And I believe it's a 4-ply superwash merino. And I'm sure it's 100 grams. This is a full skein of yarn. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And then not only was that in there, but this gorgeous pair of scissors. I have a fascination with beautiful decorative scissors. I just love them. There's just, makes me think of like Tudor England and sitting at the tapestry and working with the ladies, making beautiful things. Yeah, like it was that nice, right? And then There was this lovely tin. Sorry, this tin came with it, and I like tins too. So there was this beautiful tin. And inside the tin were really pretty stitch markers. A code for a pattern. A little plant me seed, which I believe I'm going to be gifting to my sister-in-law because I'm thinking the yard at their house would be much better suited for like some pretty wildflowers than my dark apartment. And then these beautiful buttons in this glassine bag. I don't know what that's going to be, but that has to go on like a black sweater just to pop and feature that, or maybe put 2 buttons on the side or something. Really cool. And then a book of notebooks and ideas. And you can never have too many of those. And I left that one there. And then she put in a little muslin project bag, like a little notions bag. And it says never not knitting. She stamped on the back. So I was thrilled when I got this. It was just like opening a little treasure, and very special. I recommend everybody do it. She has them quite often in her shop. So I think she does it once a season. I'm pretty sure. Don't take my word on it, but go over to her website, Never Not Knitting, and there it is. That's her card. Really happy. So I think I've been doing pretty good for 2.5 weeks of what I've gotten. So it's getting there. And I was starting to go through some of my stash and stuff, and I'm like, you know what, I need to, not that I'll stop buying yarn, because right now I just don't think that's an option for me, but, thoughtfully collect things that I want and what I want to use them for. I really do buy with intention to a project in mind. For me, it used to start with a pattern. Before last year, it always started with a pattern, and now it starts with yarn. So I find a yarn I like, and then I go and look for a pattern. Like, what does this want to be? So that's interesting. That's definitely changed for me. The India long, the thread's still not closed. I just realized that. So if you see this, the thread might not be closed, and you want to throw in a finished object of your Miss Babs creation, please go ahead, and I will draw for the next episode and let you know who the winners are for that. I am going to end this here. I have a couple other things in my show notes, but I've got to edit, pack, and do everything. And I just wanted to touch base. I don't know if this was good or bad, trying to talk to you guys today, because I'm trying to cram everything in tomorrow, because I leave right after work. There's no coming back. And once I leave the house tomorrow. So I hope you're all having a good week. Thank you all for sticking with me and listening to me this time. And I'll have plenty of stuff to share with you next time. And hope you're all doing well. Thanks for talking to me back, through the comments. And happy knitting. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.